Hey guys, Tony here. Are you also a very stressed out Boston Celtics fan? Are you constantly breaking out trying to figure out what the heck is wrong with the Boston Celtics? Today we're going to be talking about what is wrong with the Boston Celtics and discuss not just how they can turn their season around, but also discuss how they can turn their franchise around. We all know where the Celtics were and where they are now. The Celtics went from basically going to the Eastern Conference Finals every year and having a very bright future with two young stars in Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum to barely being able to beat the Orlando Magic. The narrative in Boston is always the coach, it's Jaylen and Jayson can't be together, it's Marcus Smart, blah, blah, blah. What if I told you they've had the same problem every season ever since the bubble where they lost to Miami Heat's high school defense? In order to beat a 2-3 zone, you need to pass the basketball. And this is something the Celtics are especially terrible at. The best players in today's game make their teammates better. Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown do not do that. I had to click the second page of the NBA's advanced stats for passes made to find Brown and Tatum. Tatum ranking 53rd and Brown 100th in passes per game. You'll often find that even when the Celtics do pass, it's usually cute or it's usually just a handoff, give it right back to me. They're very predictable. This causes them to make many not so smart plays. Stats don't lie, fam. In wins, the Celtics rank 17th in assist percentage. In losses, they rank 24th. This type of basketball is very contagious, not in a good way. Dennis Schroeder reminds me a lot of Carmelo Anthony if Carmelo Anthony sucked. Dennis Schroeder is the 10-day contract version of Carmelo Anthony. The dirtiest thing the Lakers ever did to the Celtics organization was let us get Dennis Schroeder. Statistically, overall, the Celtics are not a bad team in most categories. The one category where they stink in, they remind me of Portland Trailblazers, my turn, your turn, is in their passing game. Dennis Schroeder should not be doing this ever. Ever. Why does he think this is even acceptable? When you're watching these games, right, and you see Tatum and Brown not touch the ball on repetitive possessions, what do you think about that? I had to scroll to the second page to find Tatum and Brown in the passes received rankings. Tatum and Brown still get their shots. It's just usually not coming off assists. The most frustrating part is that Ime Udoka called out Brad Stevens and said the Celtics will play better. The most frustrating part is that Ime Udoka was hired to fix this exact issue. In his preseason press conference, he specifically said, "Sorry to mention this, Brad, but 27th in assists last year, we have to have more team basketball there." If you look at their win-losses and some of the losses where they did have high assists, those are usually very high-scoring games where the Celtics played almost no defense. The inability to move the ball makes you very predictable, and that is why the Celtics lose games down the stretch. They are not the Warriors, Nuggets, or Heat who try to be top 3 in assists every season. Have you seen the Warriors play? Everybody gets buckets on that team. No one fears the Celtics. Everyone feels like they have a chance to beat this team. Even Celtics fans get depressed on game day. And for a young team, they really stink at getting back on transition defense. The most frustrating offenses to watch is when you have teammates just sit on each corner, doing nothing, there's no movement off the ball, and we're just running isolation plays. It's frustrating, it's predictable, it leads to losses. Yes, Tatum and Brown can play together. Yes, they can be teammates, but they need to start moving the basketball. The whole team needs to start making each other better. ASAP. No, the Celtics are not doing that right now, but I know for a fact that they have it in them. They used to do it. They can do it. They have shown us in moments that they can do it. In wins, they rank 17th. I'd argue that most of the Celtics' losses are not teams beating them. It's them beating themselves by being predictable and not doing what they can do. Most of their impressive wins, if you just go on the box score and you check assists, you'll see that the Celtics played tremendous team basketball. On top of that, instead of just standing around, their players are moving without the basketball and getting easier looks. When you consider that their loss plus-minus average is single digits, even a couple assists can really make your life easier. I still think Ime Udoka is the guy for the job. He is trying to improve the Celtics. In wins, they do look pretty impressive on both ends of the court. If their defense was a bit more consistent, they would have won some of those games where they did have decent assists. The real issue is you need to put it all together. You need to be consistent defensively and improve as a passing team overall. 17 assists and an overtime win versus the Indiana Pacers is not acceptable. I think the Celtics have it in them, but not the way they've been playing, and definitely not with the way Dennis Schroeder has been playing. This is unacceptable. Why is he still on? I had to take one last shot. I'm sorry. Why is he still on the team? For me, when I watch Celtics games, guys, I really just see a predictable offense. It's very frustrating to watch. It's boring. It's the opposite of why I love watching the Warriors or Nuggets. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think the Celtics can turn around? Do you guys think Brown and Tatum can coexist? Do you guys blame the coach? Let me know. Appreciate the support. Per sources misses nothing.